Chances are, if you're watching this video right now, in the up next section to the right in the recommended section, a mainstream news channel will be displayed to automatically play right after this one. This isn't just happening to my small channel, it's happening to all independent news medias on YouTube. So is YouTube really pushing MSM that hard, and why? Let's find out in today's video. Alright, so more and more people are noticing how MSM, or the mainstream media, is being pushed over the smaller independent YouTube news and political shows. It used to be that anyone could make quality news videos, and when people then watch your videos, they would get another one of your videos recommended in the up next section of YouTube. But now, no longer. So I went out and checked all the independent news channels on YouTube, and every one, without exception, will have a mainstream news media recommended as the next video. This is the same for all independent channels, big or small. The only difference is that YouTube knows whether or not you would watch more Fox News, CNN, or MSNBC. In my case, it's Fox News, even though I don't watch almost any Fox News outside of Tucker Carlson. This is both a new but also very unbalanced way to display news on YouTube. So more and more people are now realizing what's going on. So let's take a look at this thread on the support page for Google. This thread reads, "The YouTube algorithm seems to be recommending mainstream news more often and independent less." He goes on to say, "I'm a YouTube Premium subscriber with a family plan. I normally watch independent news media on my devices, such as The David Pakman Show, The Young Turks, Majority Report, TMBS, etc. But over the last few weeks, my recommended videos often heavily promotes MSNBC or CNN rather than my usual shows. This makes continuous watching, and this is very important, or rather listening, to be interrupted over and over again because I have to stop what I'm doing to change the video. This was not the case until recently. What gives?" I thought there were quite a few really good comments, and I just want to point out a few of them right here. Anthony W says, "The last week has been the same for me. Hitting not interested hasn't slowed down the process, and Fox, CNN, and NBC have repeatedly shown up even after hitting don't recommend channel." Now that's scary in itself, that they just still pop up. He goes on to say down here, "My auto playlist has been injected with countless videos from mainstream media sources, especially when watching independent news and politics. It doesn't matter how many or my subscribed channels have unwatched new videos, these are hardly, if ever, listed automatically. It's pretty clear that this is intentional." Another guy makes a really good point here. Joni says, "The reason I watch YouTube is for independent news and progressive political shows. Now I have corporate media being shoved down my throat. No matter if I dislike every video from MSNBC, it continues to play them, including the ones I have already disliked in my autoplay feed." You see, one of the reasons that people go on YouTube and search for news is that they want to get away from the mainstream media channels. Probably the same reason that you do. You look up independent news because you want to have a different angle on things. You don't always want to hear the same angle. So you go to independent shows on YouTube, and a lot of them are really good. So why is YouTube now actively discouraging these independent news shows that are actually really good? Well, for starters, take a look at this video with the CEO of YouTube.
So we talk about that as raising authoritative information. But then we also talk about removing information that is problematic. Of course, anything that is medically unsubstantiated, so people saying like, take vitamin C, take turmeric, like those all will cure you. Those are the examples of things that would be a violation of our policy. Anything that would go against World Health Organization recommendations would be a violation of our policy. And so remove is another really important part of our policy.
Now, she was talking about the coronavirus specifically here, but it speaks to a general theme that YouTube seems to be implementing this year into YouTube. As this article says from CNBC, researchers have found that YouTube actually steers people away from radical videos. As she said in the video, YouTube is actively trying to steer people away from disinformation. But although that sounds good on the surface, it has YouTube taking a big step in a wrong direction. First off, people don't need to be controlled. They can make up their own minds. Force out disinformation with real, solid information. Secondly, this tendency to block people for their viewpoints is authoritarian in its nature. You don't want to live in a world where people can't speak their minds freely and they're silenced when they do. And lastly, it has the real chance of wiping out independent news channels on YouTube, as they won't get these continued recommended videos, views that they rely on so heavily. Now, there are limits to free speech, of course, but that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about a small group of people slowly edging out viewpoints that they don't consider solid information. Look, at the end of the day, they are entitled to do whatever they want. No one can stop them. But by strangling smaller channels for the benefit of the bigger ones, the mainstream media, they might actually be stopping themselves in the process. Alright guys, remember to subscribe to my channel if you like this video so you don't miss out on future videos. And leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. Am I exaggerating this, or is this really a sad tendency? Thank you so much for watching the full video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.